Alrighty guys, to continue on this couch reupholstery, this is part two. I hope you guys are ready to see, to get to see this couch get closer to the finish line. There's a lot more footage in part two that's more, towards detail and finishing. So yeah, any supplies that I use that I know some of you may ask where I got them from in bulk, I'll list them down below in the description box. You can purchase them if you like. That's totally up to you. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial on how to reupholster a couch. This is part two. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button. As you guys could see, I'm trying to put these staples a certain distance apart, and I keep looking back and forth to make sure that the shape, the angle, and everything is pretty close on both sides because I don't want it to look off once I flip this fabric over, okay? So that's why I keep checking. So make sure if you do this, you keep checking. If it's easier for you to do a straight line, just do a straight line. I could have went with a straight line, but knowing me, I wanted that curve that was in this beautiful couch to, be able to have that same curve in this part of the fabric. All right, so I'm just using the staple to just give me the curve by going along with the curve of the couch. I keep saying that, but you guys know what I mean. All right. So here, what I'm pretty much doing when I did that just now, kind of flattening it out, I was just folding it to see if there was extra fabric, okay, that needed to be pinned down. So that's what I'm going to end up doing with some sewing pins. I'm just going to pin down certain spots and staple those extra spots down. So here I'm pinning them down, and then I'm going to use my stapler to go in and staple down those extra spots that have extra fabric just so I can have that perfect curve. If you guys just heard that, that was Lucy. She just shook off some water. She was raining outside. All right, so yeah. So as you guys could see, I have my pins and those little yellow dots. Those are the pins holding the fabric in place for me, so I can get that perfect straight kind of angled curve. And this is the extra fabric that you can see right here. It's fine that it has extra fabric. I'd rather have extra than too little and then be all upset that I have fabric cut to size and it can't be used. I really honestly think anyone can do this. You just have to take your time, have patience. If you make a mistake, it's easy. Just take out the staples and then start over. But remember, the most important thing, do not cut your fabric to size unless you're making a pillowcase or you're making the seat cushion covers, okay? Other than that, if you're just covering the couch, just kind of always have a little bit of extra, okay? So here I'm using the stapler on the inside part of the fabric. So I'm kind of doing this blindly. I'm not even looking at the stapler. I'm just going by feel and making sure I staple in the right area. So you see all that extra right there, I had to staple that down to get my curve that I wanted. So this is how it's going to look. And if you guys enjoy, seeing something transform, some of you might feel like this is therapeutic. Like I really enjoy seeing this couch transform. I still have one more, like I said, I have the big couch, so can't wait to do that one. So here I'm adding some more of that polyfiber. I got this from Walmart. It's super cheap. It was like $1 a yard. Okay, and I'm adding some of this to the inner part of the seat where the cushions will go. Okay, I didn't want to do it halfway, so I just decided to cover the entire thing. All right, with fabric, with the upholstery fabric, instead of just doing the front part where the floor fabric is. I just wanted to cover the whole thing and just have my own fresh new start, pretty much. Please be careful when cutting. Okay, you don't want to accidentally cut your upholstery fabric or fabric you already set in place, because then you'll have to start over. Okay, so I'm pretty much just putting the poly fiber all over, cutting it a little extra, not to measure, cutting a little extra. Once I make my final folds and check my measurements, then I cut off any unnecessary pieces that I do not need. You don't need the polyfiber material, but remember I'm adding it because I want just a little bit extra cushioning and for the couch to look softer. So here you guys saw that I put my roll over the couch to kind of do a rough sizing estimate of how much fabric I'll need, and then I made my cutting extra, of course, and then here I'm just stapling down the front part, which I'm folding inward to give me a seamless look. The staple gun I got from Walmart. So you could pretty much get the staple gun, the staple removing tool, and all of that stuff from Walmart. If you can't find it in your Walmart, I'll try and find it on Amazon for you. Some of the supplies that I use, that was so random. Some of the supplies that I use I did get from Amazon, like the decorative nails. I got those from Amazon in bulk. So I'll link that down below if you guys need that information. Okay. So as you guys can see, I do have a little bit extra here, so I'm just gonna cut it to start tucking in my fabric so I can get a nice seamless look. And I'm also going to go ahead and attach this part of the couch. And I fold the fabric inward so I can get that, like I said, seamless look. So folding it in will give you that nice clean look without, you know, the raw edges of fabric sticking out. This was just a temporary staple that I put there just to hold it in place so I can go ahead and make my staples in the areas there that I wanted, and then I just came back, took out that one staple, and then finished it off. I had to cut off a bit more because it was a bit too much, and then fold it inward and then staple that side down. This will give you a really nice professional look, and no one will ever know that you did this yourself. I still have people coming in and looking at the couches and they're like, that couch was this couch? I'm like, yeah. Like, how you did that? Time, patience, you know, and the fact that I don't feel like spending a whole bunch of money on couches when I have 3 kids, a dog, well, a puppy, and 2 kittens, you know. So this is the other side. I want to show you guys how I staple down this part. So what I did was cut it and then staple it downward. So please be careful when using this stapler, okay? Watch your fingers. You don't want to end up going to the hospital fixing a couch. So now I'm just going to go ahead and shove in or push in the rest of the fabric. There is a lot of extra fabric, so you could see that there's a lot of extra fabric, but that all will be used. I actually just cut it off the roll. So now I'm going to go ahead and make my cuts, take off all the extra. Nothing is going to go to waste. You'll see that in part 3. So this is the back of the couch, and this is where you pull the fabric through. If you ever stuck your hand in a couch to look for change, you usually end up inside of the couch where I would say the ribs are of the couch. This is pretty much the inside of the couch. So when I did the first part, you staple it onto the frame so it stays in place. So this is the backing that I just pulled down, and we're going to go ahead and close that up since we already stapled down the inner part of the seat cover. Don't make fun of my boxers, you guys. My husband's boxers are my shorts. They're underwear to him, but they're shorts to me. That should be universal law. Alright, you guys, we're going to go ahead and close off this section. I know you guys are probably anxious to finish this couch. I was anxious too, but remember, patience, time. Don't want to rush it, okay? And remember, I only used whatever free time I had to do this, okay? So here I'm finishing it off, getting closer to the end, and I'm using a very small nail. I'm not sure what you guys call these nails in America, but it's a very tiny nail. It's very skinny and tiny. No one will ever notice it. And I use that to hold the fabric in place. It's like a small 1-inch nail, very tiny, but it holds the fabric really nice and tight. And you can always go over that with a decorative nail if you don't want that to show, but you can't even tell that it's there when you look at the couch. But there is another way that you can attach that part of the couch without using a nail, and I'll show you guys. So for this part, this is the, I guess, padding that was on the arm of the couch, the front cover part. So what we're going to use is a scrap piece of fabric. Remember, we're not wasting anything. We're going to use a hot glue gun and just go right over that and start new, like nothing happened. This was never floral. Okay, please be careful with your hot glue gun. Okay, the tip is hot, so please be careful when using it. And you just want to do this in steps instead of just putting hot glue all over, because hot glue dries really quickly. So just do this in parts. Make sure you pull the fabric really tight, cover it really well. You can even use your staple gun if you want to, but I would suggest to not do that, because sometimes the staples can come through that material, which is actually cardboard. That shape that they use is cardboard. So here I'm just going to use a mallet and just knock this back into place. It had some of the older attaching metal hook things still on it, so I just left those on there, and I'm just going to use that to attach it back in place. But I'm also going to use some nails to kind of give it more of a secure anchor to the arm. And I'm only using about 2 nails. You do not need a lot of them, and they're small enough for you to cover with decorative nails. Make sure you clean the head of your hammer, because if it's rusty, it's going to dirty your fabric. I had this happen with another hammer that I have that's a bit rusty. Okay, so make sure your hammer is either brand new or clean. Do not use a rusty hammer on upholstery fabric. It will damage your fabric or get it dirty, and you'll have to clean it. Alright, so these decorative nails I got from Amazon. I believe it was 100 per container. I'll put the link down below in the description box so you guys can check them out if you want to purchase them. Totally up to you, okay? So here I'm just applying them, and then you can use the hammer or a very, very small hammer just to knock them in place so they're nice and secure. I think they really give this couch a very nice, unique, updated look, and still giving it a vintage kind of look, but bringing it to a more modern time. You know, I feel like it really just gives it that glam look, like you spent some money on this couch, but you really didn't, because these nails were only like $7 or something. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 2. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you do not miss any uploads. I love you guys, and I'll see you all very soon.